Sonny?
Yeah.
I think we have a problem. And I'm not sure how big. It could be huge.
You better tell me.
I haven't been honest with you. You know John Durant, the federal prosecutor from Manhattan.
What about him?
I think he's my father.
Are you sure? How long have you known?
Look, I still don't know for sure. I mean, there's no proof that he's my father. There's no DNA that says so, but I just believe it. And I think he suspects it, and that's why he's here.
Durant's in Port Charles?
I just saw him at the hospital. He was asking questions about Bobby.
Okay, tell me everything from the beginning.
Okay, Sonny, my first day in Manhattan, I looked up a John Durant that was in Ruby's ledger. It turned out he was a federal prosecutor. I figured out where he went for drinks, and I found out a way to meet him. I lied to him. I told him I was a law student. Then I told him I was writing a book. Sonny, right away I realized there's no possible way that this guy could be a father to me. So I left. I went back to the hotel room, and Coleman was waiting there for me.
You tried to blackmail you, right?
Yeah, and then you showed up. And then Coleman left, and then he came back, and he showed up with that file already all prepared. All I could do was play along. And then when you told me that you realized that Durant had an agent bug our room, I thought he was after you, not me. God, Sonny, I don't know how he could have possibly figured out that he could be my father.
Did he buy you a drink? John Durant is a federal prosecutor. He has access to state-of-the-art forensics. Probably had your glass analyzed once you were identified. He did a background check, right? Which gave him all the information he needed. Where you live, who your husband is, who your mother is. Once he saw Bobby's name, he probably, ordered a DNA test.
Sonny, why do I feel violated all of a sudden? Oh, my God.
Let me tell you something. If this guy is your father, he is a cold and calculating man. You cannot lose sight of that. Because everything we hold sacred would be wrecked.
I just opened the door to a man who means you nothing but harm.
Not intentionally. But at least, at least you're telling me now, right? Why don't you help me understand why you lied to me?
Because I didn't want what is about to happen. I didn't want you and my father to be mortal enemies. When I found out that John Durant was a federal prosecutor, I assumed there's no way that we could have a father-daughter relationship, but I wanted to look into his eyes. I just wanted to hear his voice.
Must have been hard not to say anything.
Sonny, I wasn't gonna risk the family that I have with you for some fantasy connection with a man who didn't even know that I existed.
You should have told me.
I know that now. I just wish I never put this whole thing in motion.
Well, there's nothing wrong with, wanting to know where you come from.
You're not mad at me?
Look, I can kind of see why you chose not to tell me the truth. I know, it was probably hard, and at least you're coming clean with me now.
Sonny, it's not hard. This is easy. There's no way that I'm going to let John Durant, now that he's here and obviously a threat, put you in danger because I'm keeping a secret.
You're not worried about your father?
I don't know him. I'm worried about you.
John Durant is asking to see you. Let him in. Are you here on federal business, or did you come to see your daughter?